Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we are going to practice real English for the office. We will practice English through a story. Listen carefully. Repeat the sentence out loud. Copy the sound. Copy the speed. Copy the feeling. Now, let's start the story. I woke up earlier than usual that day. My alarm rang, but I was already half awake. I stayed in bed for a moment and looked at the ceiling. Today was my first day at the office. Not a new city, not a new life, just a new place. Still, my chest felt a little tight. I checked the time on my phone. I had enough time. No need to rush. All right, I said quietly. Let's do this properly. I got up and went to the bathroom. The water was cold at first. Then it felt fine. When I looked in the mirror, I paused. I didn't look nervous, but I didn't look confident either. Be normal, I told myself. That's enough for today. After getting dressed, I checked my bag. Laptop, charger, everything was there. I stepped outside and started my commute. People around me looked focused. Everyone seemed to know where they were going. I practiced a few sentences in my head. Simple ones. Polite ones. Good morning. Nice to meet you. Let me know if I can help. When I arrived, I stopped in front of the building. It looked modern and clean. Glass walls. Open space inside. I took a deep breath and walked in. The office felt bright. Not loud. Not quiet either. People were working. Some were talking softly. Some were smiling at their screens. I stood there for a second, taking it all in. This place felt different. Not cold. Not strict. Just new. I adjusted my bag and took another step forward. I walked further into the office and followed the signs on the wall. They were simple and clear. Someone noticed me standing there. A woman looked up from her desk and smiled. "Hi," she said. "You must be new." "Yes," I replied. "Today is my first day." She nodded warmly. "Welcome. That's exciting." Her voice was calm, friendly. I felt my shoulders relax a little. "I'm just trying to find where I should sit," I said. She stood up and pointed ahead. "Your desk should be over there, near the window." "Thank you," I said. "I appreciate it." "No problem," she replied. "If you need anything, just ask." I smiled. That's good to know. As I walked away, I noticed something. I felt comfortable. Not impressed. Not nervous. Just comfortable. I reached my desk and put my bag down. The chair was new. The desk was clean. I sat down and turned on my computer. The screen lit up slowly. While it loaded, I looked around again. People were focused, but no one looked stressed. Someone walked past me and said, "Morning." "Morning," I replied. That felt easy. A few minutes later, the same woman walked by again. She stopped and looked at my screen. "Everything working okay?" she asked. "So far, yes," I said. "Still setting things up." "That's normal," she said. "Take your time." "Thanks," I replied. She smiled and walked away. I leaned back in my chair for a second. I didn't expect this part. I expected pressure. I expected silence. But instead, I felt welcomed. I placed my hands on the keyboard and took a deep breath. The day had officially started. After some time, a calm voice spoke from across the room. "Hey everyone, let's have a quick team meeting." People slowly stood up. Some carried laptops. Some brought coffee with them. I followed the group and stood near the back. I wanted to observe first. We gathered around a large table. A screen was already on. A man stood near it and smiled. "All right," he said. "Let's keep this short." That helped me relax. He talked about the day, about priorities, about deadlines. Nothing felt rushed. Nothing felt heavy. Then he said, "Let's do quick introductions for our new teammate." A few people looked at me and smiled. I cleared my throat. "Hi, everyone," I said. "My name is Nathan. Today is my first day." "Welcome," someone said. Another person nodded. "Glad to have you," the manager added. That felt good. As the meeting continued, people shared updates. Some talked. Some listened. While listening, I noticed something strange. Across the room, near another table, I saw someone who looked familiar, very familiar. He was listening quietly, typing something on his laptop. I tried not to stare. Do I know him? I thought. The face felt familiar, but my mind couldn't place it. College? An old class? I shook my head slightly. Probably not, I told myself. The meeting ended soon after. People started moving again. As everyone walked away, the familiar face disappeared into another room. I stood there for a second, still thinking about it. Then I reminded myself of something important. This was my first day. I didn't need to solve everything right now. I took a breath and walked back to my desk. I sat down at my desk and opened my laptop again. This time, I felt a little calmer. The screen showed a few tools I had seen before. Some were new. Some looked familiar. I opened the task list I was given earlier. Nothing too complicated, but nothing automatic either. I started slowly. I didn't want to rush. After a few minutes, I realized something. I wasn't sure if I was doing it the right way. I stopped typing. I looked around. People were busy, focused. I didn't want to interrupt anyone. Then I remembered something. It's okay to ask. I stood up slightly and looked around again. The same woman from earlier was nearby. She looked up and noticed me. "Yes?" she said, smiling. "Sorry," I said. "Can I ask you a quick question?" "Of course," she replied. "What's up?" I showed her my screen. "I just want to make sure I'm doing this correctly." She leaned in and looked carefully. "You're on the right track," she said. "Just change this part a little." "Oh, I see," I said. "That makes sense now." "No stress," she said. "Everyone asks that at first." That sentence helped more than she knew. "Thanks," I said. "I really appreciate it." She nodded and went back to her desk. I sat down again and continued working. This time, it felt smoother. A little later, someone walked past me and said, "How's it going?" "Good so far," I replied. "Still learning." "That's the best way to start," he said. I smiled. As I worked, my mind drifted back for a moment to that familiar face from the meeting. I still couldn't place it. I shook my head again and focused on my screen, one thing at a time. The office felt quieter now, not silent, just focused. I kept working, slowly, carefully, and without realizing it, I stopped feeling like an outsider. Around midday, the energy in the office changed. People started standing up. Chairs moved back. Someone nearby said, "Lunchtime." A few people looked at each other and smiled. One of them turned to me. "Want to join us?" he asked. "Yes," I replied quickly. "I'd like that." We walked together toward the break area. The mood felt lighter. People talked about food, about random things, about nothing serious. I listened and smiled. The woman from earlier was there too. She looked relaxed, different from when she was working. "So," she said, "how's your first day so far?" "It's been good," I said. "A lot of new things, but in a good way." She nodded. "That's how it should feel." We grabbed food and sat down. The table felt casual. No pressure. Someone made a joke. A few people laughed. I laughed too. Even though I didn't catch every word, that felt okay. As we were eating, I noticed something again. Across the room. That same familiar face. This time, I was sure. I had seen him before. He laughed at something someone said. The laugh felt familiar, too. I stared for half a second longer. Then I looked away. "Don't overthink it," I told myself. The woman next to me noticed my pause. "You okay?" she asked. "Yes," I said quickly. "Just thinking." She smiled. "That happens a lot here." Lunch went by fast. Too fast. People started standing up again, putting things away. As we walked back, the familiar guy passed by me. He looked at me for a second. Then he slowed down. "Nathan?" he said. I stopped walking. I turned around. "Yes," I replied. He smiled. A real smile. "No way," he said. "It's really you." My heart jumped. I knew that voice. I looked at him more closely this time. The face clicked in my mind. "Wait," I said slowly. "Is it really you?" He laughed. "I was thinking the same thing." "It's been years," he said. "I almost didn't recognize you." I shook my head and smiled. I thought I was imagining things. We stood there for a moment, right in the middle of the hallway. "So you work here now?" I asked. "Yes," he replied. "I started a few months ago." "That's crazy," I said. "I had no idea." "Same here," he said. "When I saw you in the meeting, I wasn't sure at first." We both laughed quietly. "I kept thinking," he added, "is that him, or does this place just have similar faces?" "That's exactly what I thought," I said. The moment felt natural. Easy. No pressure. No awkwardness. Someone walked past us and smiled. We stepped aside. "We should catch up properly later," he said. "Maybe after work." "Yeah," I replied. "That would be great." He nodded and started walking away. "Welcome to the team," he said over his shoulder. "Thanks," I said. "I'm glad you're here." He turned and smiled again. I stood there for a second after he left. My mind felt lighter. I didn't expect this today. Not at all. I walked back to my desk. This time, with a different feeling. The office no longer felt unfamiliar. It felt connected. The afternoon felt different from the morning. Quieter. Smoother. I sat down at my desk and opened my laptop again. This time, my hands felt lighter on the keyboard. I started working on the task I had paused earlier. The steps made more sense now. Every now and then, I checked my notes. Then I continued. I didn't rush. I didn't panic. Across the room, people were focused, but the energy felt calm. At one point, the woman from earlier walked past my desk again. She stopped for a second. "How's it going now?" she asked. "Better," I said. "I think it's starting to click." She smiled. "That's a good sign." She didn't stay long. Just a few seconds. But that was enough. A little later, my old friend walked by too. He gave me a small nod. I nodded back. No big conversation. No distraction. Just a quiet understanding. I kept working. Minutes passed. I noticed something important. I wasn't checking the time anymore. I wasn't counting the hours. I was just working. Someone nearby asked a question out loud. Another person answered. Ideas moved naturally. Near the end of the afternoon, the manager walked by. He stopped near my desk. "How was your first day?" he asked. "It's been good," I replied. "A lot to learn, but I'm enjoying it." "That's exactly how it should feel," he said. He nodded and moved on. I leaned back in my chair for a moment. I took a quiet breath. The day wasn't over yet, but something had already changed. I no longer felt like I was trying to fit in. I felt like I was already there. As the day slowly came to an end, the office became quieter. People started saving their work. Some closed laptops. Some stretched in their chairs. I checked the time and realized something. The day went by faster than I expected. I packed my bag slowly. I didn't rush. The woman from earlier walked past my desk. "Good job today," she said naturally. "Thank you," I replied. "That means a lot." She smiled and waved before leaving. A few desks away, my old friend stood up too. "See you tomorrow," he said. "Yeah," I replied. "See you tomorrow." That felt strange, but in a good way. I walked toward the exit with the others. No one looked stressed. No one looked in a hurry. When I stepped outside, the air felt different, lighter. I stood there for a moment and thought about the day. In the morning, I felt unsure. I felt quiet. I felt careful. Now, I felt calmer, more steady. I didn't understand everything. I didn't say everything perfectly. But I spoke. I listened. I asked questions. And that was enough. As I walked away, I smiled to myself. Today wasn't about proving anything. It was about showing up. If you're listening to this story, remember something. Work English is not about sounding smart. It's about being clear. It's about being polite. It's about being human. You don't need perfect sentences. You need simple ones. Listen again. Repeat the sentences out loud. With practice, your voice will feel natural. Your confidence will grow quietly. One day, this kind of day will feel normal to you. Thank you for practicing with me. You're doing well. See you in the next story.